Welcome back to the Dr. Rob Show. Joining me is Shakta Khalsa, who's the founder of the Radiant Child Yoga Program, and she's here to share with us some exercises for children with special needs. Before we get started, we had a few mom tweets, some tips on helping their children with special needs relax. So let's go to C. Lynn Williams. Have a child sit quietly on the sofa for 5 minutes. Well, that could work. That could work. Dr. Melillo, my child has ADHD, and when he was younger, I would put the ocean waves to his ear. Worked like a charm. What do you think about that, Shakta?
Well, that's a perfect tool to use because it helps them focus. And another thing you could do is just have them breathe with it. So when they hear the ocean, they can breathe in, and when they breathe out, they hear the ocean. So they can put the two things together, and even more focusing, even more calmness then.
That sounds wonderful. And you even have your own music that you do with
That's
the children with the yoga.
Right, we're going to do a little bit of that today.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
We have Amelia here too.
So Amelia, should we put our 2 feet together and start with the butterfly and the butterfly song? Remember? Put your hands on your feet. Ready? And bring your legs up and down. Fly like a butterfly. Fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly in the sky. And now let's put our head down to our feet. Ready? Sleep like a butterfly. How far can you go? Wow, really far.
She could go a lot farther than I can.
Me too. Sleep like a butterfly through the night.
Goodness.
And now let's stretch our butterfly wings up. Put your legs in back. Stretch like a butterfly, stretch like a butterfly, stretch like a butterfly, up so high. Perfect.
Whoa.
Thank you. Would you like to do a little bit more?
Elephant.
Elephant. Let's stand up for elephant. Let's make our elephant trunk, hang it down, and let's swing it side to side. This is good for our balance. And now let's stretch our elephant trunk and make a big elephant sound. Ready? Can you stretch way
That
back?
doesn't sound like an elephant.
Now come down again. Good. Now let's take a big breath in and stretch up one more time. Breathe in. And elephant sound. Perfect. Now while we're standing up, let's try the tree, shall we? We're going to take 1 foot and put it and make a low branch tree. This is probably the first way that I would teach yoga to children, low branch.
I like this.
Yeah. And now bring our hands to our heart. And now bring our arms up in the air. You know what? Let's do it this way, Amelia. Put your toe on the floor. Put your toe on the floor. All right. Now bring your hands up.
Now, Shakta, how many times a week would the children be doing
And
this?
come down. Well, we would do that once a week if I had a class.
Okay.
But at home with your own child, you could do it every day.
That's true. And you have
It will work
books
very well.
that parents can use to actually guide them through this.
I do. I have a book. It's called Fly Like a Butterfly, Yoga for Children.
Wow.
And it has all these different exercises and poses. Do you want to do the frog hops? Shall we make Carolyn do the frog hops with us?
Sure.
All right. Let's squat down and breathe in and land on the ground. Ready?
Whoa.
Another time. Breathe in, breathe out and land.
Oh, she's very good
Perfect.
at that.
One more. And land. Very good.
I can see how children would really embrace this kind of yoga. I mean, this is, I'm
Yeah.
having a lot of fun doing
Yeah,
it, but I can
it's
see.
fun and it's focused too, because, for example, let's sit down again. And let's focus on our breathing, shall we? Which feather would you like? That one? Thank you. Or let's hold our feather in our hands. Look at our feather. Look at it. And now blow your feather. Did you make your feather move?
Yeah.
Okay, blow again. Take a big breath through your nose and blow. One more time.
Oh, that feels good.
This helps to focus and it helps them to become more aware of their breath and being able to use their breath. And so then they can call on that every day too.
How do you like this yoga? Are you having fun?
Yes.
I'm
And
gonna
you can
take a-
do, and may I have the feather back for our next exercise? Thank you. Let's do cobra snake. Are you ready? Lie on your belly. And let's make a baby cobra first. Come on up like this with your arms. Push your arms. Yay!
Oh, she's
and
so good
come
at this.
down. Want to do it again? Breathe in. Come on, pop up. Whoa! Let's hiss down.
All right, on that note, Shakta,
All
thank you
right.
so much for
Thank
coming. This was
you.
absolutely wonderful. Don't go away, because on the other side of the break, Dr. Rob will be talking with Betsy Stober, Director of the Brain Balance Center and More ADHD, when we return. Thank you so
Okay.
much, and thank you so
you.
much. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Dr. Rob Show. I'm Dr. Rob Malillo. Earlier we introduced you to Lisa Purvis and her son Justin, who was struggling with ADHD. Well, one of the people that helped Justin manage his behavior was Betsy Stober. Betsy is a friend and a colleague, and Betsy and I met a while back, and it's actually a really interesting story that we met when I was doing a lecture in Connecticut. But why don't you tell people how you came to the point where you actually came to that lecture in Connecticut?
Sure.
It was really about your son, Karsten.
It was 4 years ago, and my son was in 5th grade. He was coming to the end of 5th grade. And the 5th grade teacher called me in and said, we're really worried about how he's going to do next year in 6th grade when he has a locker and switches classes. We're giving him a lot of unofficial accommodations in school, and we think they have to be made official because we don't know how he'll be able to handle school. And she said, you know, there's a real disconnect in how he operates. He is a really smart kid, but I often feel like he can't keep up with what's going on, and we have to redirect him a lot. At home, we were seeing a lot of things like emotional reactivity and just a wide range of issues. We kind of thought of him as our high maintenance kid. He had no diagnosis,
Right,
but we
so-
knew there was anxiety. He suffered from chronic congestion and constipation and just a lot of things that made him seem like he wasn't typical.
Right, so he didn't have a label per se, which is a lot of kids out there don't have labels. But you said that the teacher kept on using the term disconnect.
Absolutely.
And there were all these different things going on with his body, and there was this unevenness of skills. So then you went into the library, and what did you see?
I was looking for a book that I could turn to, something written by an expert that I could kind of read and figure out how to help him. And I saw the spine of your book, Disconnected Kids, and I thought, okay, well, she used the term disconnect over and over, so maybe this is the right thing for me.
Right, so when you read the book, I remember you told me that you pretty much read it right through, right? Because it really connected with you.
Absolutely, like so many families that I've talked to since, I read the book and I thought this was written about my son. How does he know my son? Just really all of the things that we saw as issues were described in the book. And so really the next morning, as soon as they were open, I called the center in Norwalk, Connecticut to talk to them about having Karsten evaluated.
Right, and that's where we met. I was doing a lecture there in Norwalk, Connecticut, and you came up to me and said, hey, I just read this book and I think this is going to be great for my son. There weren't any centers in New Jersey at the time, so you had to actually drive all the way to Connecticut.
That's right. So I drove over the George Washington Bridge 36 times for our
Wow,
sessions,
that
and
alone
it was
is scary.
Yeah, but it was the best investment we could have made. The program absolutely addressed every issue. Now it's 4 years later, and there is absolutely nothing quirky or immature about my son anymore. He's a fantastically successful freshman in high school and plays tennis, and is just a really happy, successful kid.
What's really neat is that you were not only committed to helping your son, as we see many moms and many people that go through the program and work with my book, but that you were so committed that you actually decided that you wanted to open it as a business in your community because you were familiar with a lot of moms and families in that community who were also struggling, and you wanted to come and help your community in Summit.
Absolutely, and I also knew that there were New Jersey families traveling to many different locations in other states to have their children go through this program. And I really wanted to be part of bringing it to our community. And you know, it's been amazing. We've helped so many kids, and not just children with one issue or a couple of issues, but, you know, the most broad-reaching range of issues in these kids.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different things that we do. Obviously, we do physical exercises, kind of like the yoga that we just saw, but more specific. And we do academic type things and sensory stimulation. And there's also a lot of diet and nutrition issues that we have to deal with. So these are complicated issues, and it's all individualized.
Absolutely. And, you know, the families really feel like their families' lives are transformed, not just their children. So they upgrade how they eat, they move away from sedentary screen-based activities. They really just become families who live healthier lives that they feel better about.
I think the main message is that you, as a mother of a child, and as now someone who's worked with many, many families, that there is hope, that these problems can not only just be managed and compensated for, but in many cases they can be completely eliminated. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And families feel so empowered because what we give them is a blueprint that if they just follow it, they can make all the changes that they want to. And that's the most amazing thing for them, that they finally have a plan that they know can help them be successful.
Well, you know, it's great to know. Again, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your work. I want to thank you for letting other people know about it and for giving that hope every day. People, if they want to get in touch with Betsy and find out, her center is in Summit, New Jersey, and they can go to the Brain Balance website and they can find your location. Again, wonderful story. Great what you did with Justin. So thank you. And thank you to all of our guests today. This was a really great show. We really enjoyed it. We're going to be back again next time for another episode of the Dr. Rob Show. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Carolyn, as always. And remember, there is always hope. We'll see you next time. Thank you.